Hi, welcome to 100% LCFC TV. I'm here today with Dave Sullivan. Hello again, Dave.
Hello, Phil. Good to be here again.
Yeah, thanks for stepping in. Mr. Young is away at St George's Park doing a course,
Yeah,
I
doing
believe.
updating his coaching badges, I believe, and let's hope that holds good hope for him in the future, getting some good coaching out there for our youngsters.
Absolutely, and I think we'll be catching up with Youngie after the match at the King Power Stadium on Saturday. So if you want to come and have a chat with Youngie, hear his views, have a chat, let him know your views as well. Come and see us outside the ground and have a chat. So that'll be good. So, Dave, next up, the team from West Wales. You say we need to beat some. We beat West Ham, we beat West Brom, so it's West Wales now, or West Swansea.
Yeah, and after that, Chelsea from West London.
Yeah,
and
keep
so
all the West going.
On. I don't know how you get West out of the North East with Sunderland, but we'll work our way around that.
West Newcastle?
Yeah, probably.
South Newcastle. Anyway, Dave, can we beat Swansea?
Without a doubt. I mean, our confidence has got to be sky high at the moment. I don't think we've won 3 on the trot all season, have we? But here's a great opportunity. People have spoke about the running, and Leicester have got a reasonably good running compared to some of our competitors, if you like, or some of the teams around us. But I think if you're playing teams that are in the middle of the league now with very little to play for, maybe that's a good time to be playing some of these teams. Swansea, they're not going to get into Europe. They're not going to get relegated. So they're playing for pride, understandably. No professional wants to lose a game of football. But there's not so much resting on this game from Swansea's point of view. Swansea aren't the team they were when we played them earlier in the season.
No, I agree. They're not nearly, are they?
No, their form isn't great. Bonnie obviously went, Boney, however you're pronouncing his name, went in the transfer window. Michu, a season or 2 back, was scoring goals left, right and centre. They don't seem to have the same threat as they did, famous last words. But our confidence will be sky high. Swansea aren't going to be looking forward to this fixture. A couple of weeks ago, they'd have been looking at it thinking we've got a game at Leicester. Yeah. That might be a shoo-in. I don't think they'll be thinking that this evening. No,
I think very much. I mean, we can see Jamie Vardy behind us there. I mean, he's on fire, and along with Nugent and a lot of the team, they showed tremendous passion at the game at West Brom, as did the fans away at West Brom. It really was a mental place there. And again, the West Ham game the week before. So what we need is the King Power Stadium to be just like that against West Ham. So
I think the atmosphere. It's no coincidence, I don't think, that the atmosphere brings the best out of the players. You saw Jamie's reaction to his goal. We spoke about that the other night on the video that we did the other night. And Jamie's reaction bounces off from the fans, and the fans then bounce back off that. And the whole thing goes in an upward spiral, and everybody gets more enthusiastic about everything that they're doing. That said, we spoke about Jamie's goal the other night in quite detail, but Nugent as well. That was a good goal. He worked hard for that goal.
I'm quite pleased for him. He's one of those where some fans, fair enough, have a little bit of a dig at him sometimes, but he keeps plugging away, and he does a bit like we talked about Cambiasso the other night. He can do quite a lot of unsung running and passing the ball and keeping the flow of the thing going, is and assisting rather than necessarily what we all think of a striker is banging, all the goals away. So he has played well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. It's difficult to see exactly where the nucleus has come from for this turn of form. I mean, I'm not even sure that there has been, because we spoke before, there's so many games that we've played well in that we deserve something out of that we didn't get anything out of. The last 2 games, have they been significantly better than most of our performances this season? Or have we just got our just deserves this on these 2 occasions?
I think we've been very unlucky in some games, and we've talked about fine lines before. I think for me, in the Hull game, we hit rock bottom. Yeah. And I think that was a bit apathetic on the pitch. And the fans, it was the first time I'd heard booing at the end. And I never think booing's right particularly, but I just... I could see why some fans were, because it just felt like we just hadn't really bothered. I think the other game of the season where it was a bit like that was Swansea away, when we lost 2-0. And again, you looked at that and thought it looked a bit gutless.
First half,
second half was better.
We were a lot better second half. First half, we were very poor at Swansea away. But I'm confident on Saturday. The most confidence I felt about a game for a long time, to be honest.
Well, it's Leicester, so be careful with that. No, I agree. I think, much as a lot of, fans think that the clappers are a bit naff, and I'm a bit with you, they're a bit naff, but I tell you what, in a modern stadium, if you give every fan one of those, every fan joins in, and it does make one hell of a noise. So exactly I hope, again, that the chairman's very kindly puts his hand in his pockets and buys those bits of paper, because they do help generate a fantastic
I'm sure there'll be something there
atmosphere.
This weekend. I'm sure there'll be something there this weekend for the fans. Towards the end of last season, there was all sorts of bits and pieces that started to arrive in celebratory format.
Well, did those T-shirts last week weekend work at West Brom. You know, everybody stood there with fearless ones. I know a couple of seasons ago at Forest away, they dished out the T-shirts, and again we pulled off a big victory there. And again last year away at Burnley when we needed to pull out a big win, T-shirt seemed to work. So I know it's all
some psychology there somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it galvanises the fans a little.
Yeah, I think it does. And it puts, if everybody's going to wear them, whatever you've gone to the ground in, if you're going to stick that over the top, you're going to see a sea of blue, aren't you? When the players come out, you see a sea of blue. Maybe, I don't know what it does to opposition players quite, Shane Allen's not here to tell us, but if you see all Leicester's fans wearing something that says fearless, does that make them feel fearful because we're fearless? I don't know. Maybe that's part of the psychology.
I think it's just a backs against the wall mentality, isn't it? I think it is that sort of thing where the players and the fans, everybody knows. Again, against Swansea, it's one of those where really we won't wanting to be getting anything else than a win.
I think a win this weekend, 3 wins on the trot, then go into the games that we've got coming up with the battles around the teams around us, the QPR,
Burnley
last game
away
of the season, obviously, but QPR and Burnley and Sunderland are the only 2 away games we've got now.
Yeah, well,
they're obviously going to be crucial. If you can go into this little spell with another win under our belt, not only is that giving us confidence, what is that going to make Burnley and Sunderland start thinking? This team ain't done yet. You know, a little while ago they might have been thinking, well, that's 1 down. We just need 2 more to finish below us. Now they're thinking, where are the 3 bottom teams coming from? Because it ain't necessarily going to be Leicester.
I'm convinced out of QPR, Leicester and Burnley, one of those 3 is not going to get relegated. And I think out of Sunderland or Hull, one of those 2 is going to go down. Obviously, I'm very hopeful and positive that it is going to be Leicester that it escapes. We're the ones with a bit of momentum going forward, certainly.
Momentum's important, and at this stage of the season, momentum's hugely important for whatever you're trying to achieve. Whether that's a Champions League playoff, whether it's a chance to get into Europe, whether it's a promotion from the Championship or playoffs, or avoiding relegation. Teams now putting a little run together in the Championship and getting into the playoffs. The likes of Derby that have had a bad run, if they put a little run together going into the playoffs, you know, maybe they'll get through that because they'll be hitting form at the right time. So form is always important, but right now, the rest of the season almost doesn't matter. This is our season now in these next.
It's an 8-game season, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Or 9-game season from when it started, and we have got 5 of those games remaining at home. I know one of them's against Chelsea, but I watched them play QPR at the weekend, and you know QPR were, thank goodness, unlucky.
Yes, yeah.
I cheered when Chelsea scored that one in the 87th minute.
I think we all did, and I was praying for Arsenal hanging on the night before as well.
Yeah,
against Burnley.
I was pleased that they did.
But it was nice last weekend finally to see a set of results that favoured us. We got a win, a late goal, and the teams around us all got beat. So here we are now, right in the mix. A win this weekend will see us off the bottom.
Yeah,
convinced it will see us off the bottom. Could even see us out of the relegation place, I think.
And we got that game in hand, albeit against Chelsea, but still a game in hand.
Nobody expected us to beat Man United earlier in the season. No. We've played Manchester City twice and not been completely outplayed on either occasion. They played very well in the first half against us away, but the home game was only 1-0. Nobody's come to the King Power and turned us over.
No, not at all. Nor away, really, either.
No.
You know,
we've had little spells. We said earlier on, Swansea away wasn't great. We had a couple of little spells in games where we haven't done very well and got punished. I'd like to think we've learnt from that. I just hope we haven't learnt too little too late. And at the moment, there's every chance we could get out. If we do, then all attentions will start to turn, as I've seen in the social media recently, about this player's out of contract, that player's out of contract, you know, Vlar and this and that and everything else. And let's worry about that in a few weeks' time. But
let's just get through these next few weeks.
Yeah.
So, Dave, just before we go, let's have a quick score prediction from yourself for this weekend.
I think we'll do them this weekend. I think confidence will be sky high. I think even for Leicester now, even if we concede the first goal, I don't think that will scare us anymore. I think previous weeks we've conceded a goal. You could see heads drop a little bit. We've come from behind a couple of times now to get results. So I think confidence will be sky high. I think we might even keep a clean sheet this weekend, so I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0, okay. Let's hope that's the case. I give up trying to predict the scores. I think I'm just going to go for a 2-1 for Leicester. But, you know, we all just hope the same things, don't we? I think every fan's just thinking if we could make it 3 on the trot, 9 points out of the last 9, you know, that people really will start. I mean, I think even other people will start to believe. Yeah. Even the most pessimistic fans, Ivan Smith, people like that, will start to believe.
Well, let's have some continuity. Same team this weekend.
Yep.
Same attitude. hopefully the same result.
Excellent. All right, thanks, Dave, for joining us.
Thanks, Phil. Pleasure to be here.
And we'll see you on Saturday. Again, like we said, come and find Youngie and ourselves after the match and have a chat with us.
And if you go into the game, get 100% behind the team and let's all remain fearless.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave. Cheerio.